Greetings and welcome to AGTube. Today I want to demonstrate to you how to access DQRY, or DQRY for short, and how to grab some of that information that it has for you. DQRY is you're actually querying the tables of TAPDB. So there's a manual that tells you the name of each table, and you can pull information that you can't get from any of the other systems. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to pull the AKO for those of you that need it or need to know how to get it. So when you get here to the TPX menu, you want to double click this other line just like you're going into MS51. But instead you're going to type DQRY. Once you get into DQRY, at the main menu, we're going to choose the option to create. Now you can go into directories, which is option 1, and you can use other queries, but we're going to show you how to build one from scratch. So the current table that I want to work on or work out of is the EPR table, and this is the Enlisted Personnel Record table. And we're going to call this INET, and the status is private. I'm going to leave it as private so it'll just show it my query line. So when we come in here, it's kind of like I look at it as like a broken SQL language, and what you want to type is find all EPR T. And that says find all records on the EPR table. So that's all enlisted records in the Army. And we're going to clear that up. I'm going to hit enter. And to insert a new line, you just go here to the 1 and type an I, and it inserts a new line. And I'm going to say with record status equals G, and service component equals R for regular Army. This leaves out my reserve component and National Guard individuals. Let's go back and put another I here. And DMSL, you can use EQ instead of the equal sign. I'm just demonstrating that you can use both. It understands. And DMSL equals 11C for 1st Brigade, 1st Cav. So far I've said give me all the enlisted records in the EPR table with the record status code of G and a service component of R for regular Army, active duty G, regular Army, and DMSL equals 11C. So I'm asking for, and let's just say PMOSCN equals 42 alpha. Put another I to insert, and then you have to, because the INET is located on the EPD-T table, we have to relate the data. And you do that by a related statement. Related by SSN via SSN to 1st EPD-T. So I'm saying that the socials in the EPR table, I'm telling the mainframe that the social in the EPD table is the same person. So that means when you find this social over here, it's the same person as in the EPR table, and I want that INET from that individual. And then we're going to say EP unit related, and just follow along with me. We're going to put our sort statement sort by EPR T. So sort the EPR T table by what? You want to name, MOS, grade. We'll just say name. This puts them in alphabetical order. Put another I for insert. Print title 1, and whatever the name is that you want to show at the top of this CSV file when you export it. So we're gonna say 11 Charlie, or first BCT 1 CD INET. So we told it that the title on this spreadsheet is going to be first BCT 1 CD INET. And then the columns that you want on the top of this spreadsheet or CSV file, because that's how you're going to get it. And then you list any field that's in that EPR-T table. And if you got the DQRY manual and you go to the EPR-T table in the annex, it will tell you every field that's available in that table. But some of these are just standard. I want the name, the social, the P grade, the current UIC, the DMSL, and I want the EPD-T INET. So I'm saying the title is 1 BCT, and then the fields that's going to return to me when I run this query are the name, the social, the rank, the current UIC, the DMSL, the EPD-T table, include the INET. So it's saying go grab the INET from the EPD-T table and combine it with these other fields from the EPR-T table. And it's kind of weird getting around in here once you first start playing with it, but if you hit F10, you see here F10 says validate, and it tells me that query validation was successful and no errors were found. So if you type something wrong in here, it will highlight it red and it will tell you that there was an error, but there were no errors. And at this point I can run this data and it will return to me the INETs or AKOs or enterprise, whatever's loaded for that individual, for 1st Brigade, 1st Cav. And you can feel free to change this to PPA, PSC code, ORGRA, whatever it is that you want to filter for, but you really want to keep this first 2 lines the same. You want the active duty regular Army individuals. If you don't, if anybody's been mobbed and RC attached, it will include them if you don't put a where statement that eliminates them. So again, screenshot this, write out what you want in your query and get it to match your organization, and then run it. And you run it by hitting let's see, I think it's F4 or F3, but I'm not going to run it because it's going to show PI, but you get the gist of it. So you can get the AKOs for every individual on an installation in a specific DMSL, PSC, PPA code, whatever it is that you need. And then you need to get a hold of the manual to export the data out of DQRY. And if you don't have FTP, which is what you normally need to get this data out, you can extract it using TSO. And we'll cover TSO in another class, but that sums it up. You can get the INET and the AKO for Enlisted. You just have to do it in DQRY. Thanks again for watching. Defend and serve.